I promised I would bring the truth to this channel, and now I have to come clean. I will no longer be flirting with the huzzies. I will no longer be rizzing it up because I am now a father, which is why I'm wearing my daddy shirt. I gave birth to a food baby. Anyway, over the past few days, we've watched Lego scandals spiral out of control, police corruptions, lawsuits. We've seen the biggest grading company in TCG history put a pause on most of their tiers, saying, we have 10 million cards we can't grade right now. We were just woefully unprepared for this. This is the biggest opportunity, I think, for any other grading company, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I'm also keeping my eye on Pokemon TCG creators talk about wild things that would only happen in a bull Pokemon market. And as we're watching all of these things unfold, and every day more things are coming out. Jason Page is ruining his brand by scamming kids out of cards, stuff like that. Most businesses are literally held together by duct tape. One bad month would just completely ruin a lot of these businesses. Let's talk about it. Let's turn our attention to Bricks and Minifigs for a second. I might have to hurry this up faster than I thought because work is actually on fire, but listen, my business has to come first, okay? Let's go. There's a Lego store called Bricks and Minifigs, and this old man has a life savings of Legos. He gave it to Bricks and Minifigs for consignment. This little stack of cards is worth $15,000. Somebody gave me that $15,000 stack of cards to sell because I can get more money out of it. And then they offered, hey, okay, so you can take 10% of the value. So let's say I sell it for $15,000, then I can take $1,500 for myself. It's not my inventory, it's somebody else's. This store took this old man's life savings in Legos, and then they changed ownership. They have on video the new owner saying, yes, I will take on the consignment. I will do all of this. You look in the contract, and the contract allows for consignment. And then they release this statement saying, hey, we didn't agree to this consignment. So they started selling off this old man's Lego collection that's not even part of their inventory. They literally lost the lawsuit, by the way. So Reckless, I think his name's Reckless Ben. There's a YouTuber who came, he's a dummy, but he came to call these guys out. And the police came, they broke his arm. The police said he had meth in his car. He didn't. The police broke his arm and said, stop moving. He wasn't moving. The police went in his house saying he stole Legos. There was no evidence of that. And it turns out there's a religious community that these particular police members are a part of. And also the two people that he's trying to sue and investigate are also a part of this tight-knit religious community. So it's a whole scandal right now. They tried to take down the GoFundMe. So the GoFundMe CEO himself made a video saying, no, we're not taking it down, buddy. We're talking about police swatting. We're talking about alleged corruption. And I'm talking about there's unredacted police body cam of the incident that I can't go into detail because it may have been obtained illegally. This actually happens to small businesses in the TCG space and in the gaming space all the time. People start treating business money like personal money. They slowly start to justify things, and then it just snowballs into this problem, and then systems collapse. Nobody's going to want to support this store anymore. And this is the thing I'm going to keep talking about. The market punishes ego. This short-term thinking is garbage. And when you start expanding fast in, I don't know, let's say a Pokemon bull market, ever heard of something like that? Most trading card, game, and collectible businesses are run by people who are players first. And what I've personally seen is most businesses don't just collapse all at once. These businesses first, they die morally. Then they die operationally. An example of this would be the Bricks and Minifigs situation. Emotional decisions, not having systems in place, changing your mind, we will take on consignment, then we never agreed to that, even though it was on video that you did. You die morally first, and then you die operationally, and then you start dying financially. Let's talk about PSA for a minute. PSA has a backlog of, I believe, 10 million cards. So PSA is putting a temporary pause on most of their tiers, closing the tiers off. Regular Express, Super Express, and Walkthrough are remaining fully active. Everything else is just done, just putting on pause. They're saying their estimated turnaround time is about 2 months for their submissions now. I don't believe that for one goddamn second, buddy. PSA is the largest grading company in the world. They have spent $200 million to create 370 job openings. And they have 700 more that they want to open by the end of 2026. They have a plan, right? You know, you get these MBA guys, you get these guys with these masters in business administration. These guys come in and says, here's the plan, here's what we're going to do, we're going to hire more people, and they spend all this money. Imagine if McDonald's said, we're discontinuing half of our menu. We're not doing chicken milkshakes or the value menu anymore. We're only doing things with beef in it. Okay, there's only 3 or 4 things we're selling. Everything else we're discontinuing. This is what Rudy from Alpha Investments calls a black swan event in the TCG community. Imagine being a competitor of theirs. If I was a competitor to PSA right now, I would be tripling down on advertising. I would be putting all of my money in these stupid little TikToker influencer campaigns where TikTokers, are like, look, I just got this graded at Tag or wherever. I would be spending every dollar I have and I would be putting out debt, trying to do everything I can to eat up the market share from PSA, because PSA, the biggest, it's like McDonald's shutting down and then Burger King saying, we're not really going to advertise anymore this month. We're going to kind of wait and see what happens. This will never happen again. Other grading companies need to take this seriously and they need to goddamn triple down on their advertising spend. Even if 5% of PSA submitters try Tag, try whatever the else, you need to be fully ready to have that turnaround time fast. 10 million card backlog is just unacceptable. And this is the one chance other grading companies have to smash, to take up that market share potentially permanently. This is a huge blunder. Competitors should be going nuclear. All I'm saying. This is the kind of opportunity that businesses wait decades for. This caught me off guard when he said this.
Today's video, I want to talk about when scaling makes sense in a TCG business or a business in general. Because I have an opportunity to get an office space. I'm constantly home and I really just want to get out of this house so I can make this house be back to like I come home and I can relax and it's not like, well, I should work on the business or I should do this and that. So I'm thinking about scaling the business and getting into an office. So the space is $500 a month, which is actually pretty cheap. It's 13 by 11, so it's not terribly large, but it's also not small. I would say it's not as big as this space. It would probably be like half of this space in this office. I know you guys can't really tell how big this space actually is, but it's decent size. It's enough room to do what I need to do and scale pretty high on the TCG side.
The only thing that's going to stop its phantom cards is burnout. That's the biggest risk to his business. I just want to say that. Okay, so he already has office space in his house that's bigger than the office space he's thinking of renting for $500 a month. Then he goes into how he would have to pay an additional, I don't know, like $100 a month for better internet there. So that's $600 a month. I know you want to get out of the house, but taking a walk is free. This is what happens when you have only experienced the hype cycles and the bull market in Pokemon. This is not a knock on its phantom cards, but there are 100 people that aren't even where he is yet that are thinking of going into commercial properties that are even more expensive. Because $500 plus $100 for internet is a steal, by the way. But a lot of these guys only know the easy flips. They only know the easy growth. They only know the fake confidence. And they only know this temporary momentum that everybody has right now. A bull market makes anybody look smart for about 18 months. And then you find out who actually understands TCG business when that bull market goes away. All of the people getting into One Piece right now. And if Bandai ever would even dream of printing to demand, that's going to stop. The overconfidence in the market is crazy. Like this guy, I believe, only deals with bulk and sometimes collections, but mostly bulk. This is a bulk seller thinking of expanding. A bulk seller, bulk cards, thinking of expanding into a commercial property for $500 a month. $500 a month for the reward of selling bulk that you can already sell from your home. And streaming, which you can already do from your home, and making YouTube videos, which you can already do from your home. This is an unnecessary expense that is going to completely destroy businesses. This is when you expand. He asked the question, and I know everybody's wondering the question, when do I expand then? When am I ready to actually update my business? This is when you move into a commercial property. When moving in that property creates more than $500 in profits a month. That's when you move into a $500 a month expense property. If its phantom cards can set aside $600, $700 a month from his business, take $700 out of your business every month. Don't do anything with it. Don't reinvest it. Don't buy a better mic. Don't just take it away and put it in a box. How many months would you survive? Oh, that would be really stupid. That would hurt the business. Well, this is what's going to happen when you get a property. He's actually doing super well for himself. This is when you can't do something to stop momentum. The money you make, the effectiveness of your business, it falls to your systems. It doesn't rise to the potential. And right now, like, if you expand, it's going to fall to not, like, I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to explain it. It's just such a bad idea, in my opinion. If you start burning up money in the beginning, it takes away years. If I could go back and make better business decisions 1 year ago, I wouldn't be twice as good as I am now. I would be 10 times in a better spot than I am now, right? Like, that's how important it is to reinvest at the beginning. And that's why it sounds harmless. Oh, I get a better space, but it's so dangerous because now you didn't expand to what you could have been. And that's the real opportunity cost of this expansion, bro. That $6,000 a year doesn't mean you're out $6,000 of inventory by the end of the year. That means all the profits you would have made on that money. The opportunity cost is what you need to look at. Not how much does it cost me, but how does this cost me compared to what the money would have done somewhere else. Otherwise, every investment looks good, and people don't get this. Not every business investment is good. If you weren't burning $600, $700 a month on office space, that's an entire mini collection you could buy every month. An entire collection you could buy at 70%, flip for 100% every month. Even if that money's sitting under your shoebox, all of a sudden a big opportunity comes in, you have money to spend on it now because it wasn't burned up in rent. That's money that goes into the Final Fantasy set that explodes. That's money that goes into the Destined Rival set that explodes. Like, how many times have I compounded that money that would have evaporated? Which is why I stay lean. I operate from my home until the second I can no longer. Until my business cannot handle it, that's when I choose to expand. That's my personal philosophy. Right now, I am resisting the urge to prove myself and to cosplay a business owner by getting a storefront. Right now, I would lose more cash than I would make, and that's the opposite of what a real business would do. So right now, I am resisting that urge. I'm a supervisor in my real job, which I'm about to leave for, and I understand overhead. The real cost of one little mistake compounds. But the money that you save from not making mistakes also compounds. And the reason why I don't romanticize storefronts is because I've worked retail so long. I know exactly how expensive looking good actually is. In my trading card game business right now, I still have 1 order days. I still have 0 order days. I have several stores, some you don't even know about, but I still have 0 order days. I'm constantly seeing flaws in my systems. I'm constantly finding new constraints in my trading card game business, how I operate. No matter how much I buy, it's gone to the right seller before it even hits the real store. Like, it's a crazy problem to have. It's a good problem, but a crazy problem to have. I understand how important discipline can be in the trading card game and collectible business, okay? Many of you know I was working full-time while I also got a business degree on the side, and I was doing more than 4 classes a semester. I built my business at the same time, this trading card game business, during exhaustion. I've worked warehouses with mandatory overtime overnights where I worked in a blast freezer until I damaged this whole part of my body. I damaged this whole thing. And I couldn't even turn my wrist, damaged. And after all of this, and as hungry as I am, I promise you one thing, discipline is way more important than motivation. And in a bull market, you can have 100 problems, people still buy from you because it's so hard to get stuff. So the real problems that would kill your ass if you expand, the real problems are kind of hidden and you don't really know them yet because of the bull market. If you're not measuring things, if you're not tracking things, if you don't know the velocity of your inventory, how quickly do you turn your inventory over? You know, if I buy $1,000 in bulk, 1 month later, how much of that is sold? I'm going to switch to the PSA tab so Phantom Cardist doesn't think I'm talking about him. That was just it's just what people might think from watching his video. Again, I don't think he's going to fail regardless of what he does. I do think he might slow his business down though. You want to see Cat Cam? Cat Cam, my buddy boy. And I got to go put some fires out at my job. So I will say this one thing and then I'm going to go. Well, I'll say 2 things. Number 1, join my damn Discord. The link is going to be in the pinned comment. And let me keep it real with this next thing. Most businesses think it's about money. It's not. When there's bull markets and PSAs half shutting down and Lego stores are going out of business, collectible stores are going out of business, and these new stores are popping up that maybe have no business to pop up, and people are potentially overexpanding or thinking, should I get a storefront? All this stuff, overexpanding. Most businesses think it's about money. Business is about emotional control during uncertainty. This is why some people scale during the bear markets when other stores can't even survive it. And then on the other side, you have businesses blowing themselves up by overexpanding during the bull market. This is not a knock on anybody in particular. This is just from what I've seen. This is like 10 different people. To me, the flex isn't cosplaying as a business owner. The flex isn't looking big. Again, I'm in a little bedroom here. I'm not trying to look big here. The game of business behind the game of TCG, the real flex here is surviving 5 years later. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a good day, boys. Click on this video. Click on the video right now. Okay, bye.